Hi, welcome to Selfseeds Through the Eyes of the Horse. Today is an extra treat. Maree and I have been riding Carol's horses. I'm on Red and Maree's on Tequila. And Carol's been up checking on her horses in the Northwest, and she asked us to go ahead and ride her two horses. So we're riding them around the neighborhood. Now, as you could see, it's quite a remarkable neighborhood. So we have the opportunity to work on, there's a dump truck driving around right now, and we have a chance that garbage cans are out for pickup for today, and mailboxes and people driving and all sorts of things. So we have those kind of obstacles. And then as you'll see later in our ride, we also head out to creek crossings and other opportunities to work on natural obstacles. So this is quite a remarkable neighborhood, actually, to have horses and to just go riding around the neighborhood. Now, one of the big things that Maree and I are both working on are, as you could see there as she's walking, weight distribution. Now, this is our 6th or 7th ride on the horses, and it looks quite different today than it looked the first day. So you could see with Tequila, she's walking very deliberately, step by step, and carrying Maree in the middle of her body. In the first few days, she was jigging and more excitable and more on the forehand. So, and as you could see with Red, he was sort of like riding a serpent with his neck going everywhere, left, right, looking. I get all of that. Curiosity, part of, he's just a really fun-loving, curious guy. He reminds me a lot of Bugs, actually. But what happens when his neck structure isn't connected to the middle of his back and to his hind legs, and when his neck is going severely right and left, he's never really truly moving through the middle of his body. So that becomes not a great way for him to develop his inner core structure and strength. And he already has a little bit of a deficit in that his back wants to be low. So my focus for the time period of riding him has always been, and actually it's a focus on most horses that I ride, is to center his neck. And as you can see, how Maree's following with his arms, so both of us using the principles of following the horse's movement, and riding the horse from our seat and our leg out into the contact. Now, with Red, he was not necessarily connected through his neck from the middle of his back, and he was trying to convince me that he couldn't take an even contact on the left and the right side of the bit. Now, this is not an uncommon situation for horses. It's a big deal to hook up, I'm going to say, the left side and the right side in a symmetrical loop, so the horse reaches through the base of the neck out into the hand in, again, symmetrical way. So he had a certain twist to his body, and again, the deficiency of having that connected. And so he was walking more from his legs than walking from his core. And as probably many of you that are listening to this have noticed, when you go out for a walk and you power walk, your legs start to attach at a much higher place in your body. So that's the same thing I'm doing with Red. I'm attaching his legs to a much higher place in his body. And so it's creating a better gymnastics, strengthening, and a big difference is instead of just stepping and pulling himself, he has to start pushing himself, which requires a much higher level of engagement, organization. Now, about the 3rd or 4th day doing this, he was at a loss because I had changed the order of him. Instead of pulling, that he had to push. And at first, he couldn't figure out how to create power or really active forward movement. He was doing the loop, but he wasn't active in the loop. So now, as you could see, he's figured it out. He's out, actually at times out walking Tequila. And again, it is becoming effortless for him. I mean, of course, he's working, but the actual way he's walking in himself is he figured it out and he's taking it on, and away we go. So we're working a little bit with the rain aid to keep continuing to encourage the even contact and how he's reaching. Now, ultimately, it's not that I want to ride with him on the bit all the time. I want to ride with him in an organization so that he can change his body conformation, strengthen different areas, have better control of his body, more effective use of it. So hopefully then that allows him to go on and develop his career at a higher level and to have great success in that. And as you can see, Tequila is still relaxed and walking along. And again, it isn't she was afraid of her environment. She was just excitable, and her decision about how she was stepping and using her body wasn't engaged either. So even though they had different styles of how not to be engaged, they were both detriments to the individual horse. So, and then you'll see later on as we take on some different terrain and some stream crossings that disconnect in the body didn't allow them to be as successful in navigating the terrain. So this is a really cool opportunity for Maree and I to share the experiences of the horses and our viewpoints. So as we go along, I'm going to have Maree give voice to some of the other clips. We have multiple clips, how it worked out, and so we could take turns talking about what we're doing and what our opinion is about how to get there. And I hope you find that this is a unique opportunity to have two professionals talking about the mechanics of the horse and how all of that relates to balanced, accessible movement, confidence in the horse, more effective top line use, and more control of the legs. So ultimately, it improves the emotional state and the relationship to the partner. So have fun with all of this. And again, we enjoy the opportunity to share this unique perspective of riding both horses.